For the last 7 days, I let Claude run my entire morning routine. From the moment I sat down at my desk to the moment I started real focused work. No more checking 40 tabs, no more skimming Slack, no more half reading my inbox, just one Claude conversation that ate the whole morning ritual and gave me back the time. By day 3, I was getting an extra hour of focus before lunch. In this video, I will walk you through the exact setup, the prompt I use, and what surprised me about how much waste was hiding in my mornings. The old morning was 45 minutes of context switching, open email, skim Slack DMs, skim Slack channels, skim linear, skim calendar, half-write replies, get distracted, open another tab, forget what I was doing, realize I'm hungry, make breakfast, sit back down, still feeling behind. Sound familiar? It was every morning of my last 5 years. The setup took 12 minutes. I created a Claude project called Morning. I connected Gmail, Calendar, Slack, and Drive. I added a single custom instruction. It said, every morning when I say good morning, give me a structured brief in this exact format. 1. The 3 things I must know before any meeting today. 2. The 2 things I have been avoiding that are creeping into urgent. 3. Anything someone is waiting for from me that is now overdue. 4. The 1 decision I should make today before doing anything else. End the brief in under 200 words. Do not give me a list of every email. Curate. Day 1, I sat down, took a sip of coffee, and typed good morning. 40 seconds later, I had a brief. The brief told me my biggest customer had emailed at midnight asking to renew 6 months early at a higher tier. My Slack had a designer waiting since yesterday for feedback on 3 options, and my calendar had a meeting at noon where I was the decision maker on a hire. The avoiding section pulled out 2 things I had been pretending were not deadlines. The decision section said before any meeting today, decide whether you're extending the offer to the new hire or asking for a second interview round. I had been about to start the morning checking email like always. The brief saved me from 20 minutes of scrolling and immediately set my priorities. I sent the customer renewal reply in 2 minutes. The designer feedback in 5, I sat down and made the hiring decision before the first meeting. By 10 in the morning, I was deep in real work for the first time in months. Day 2, I tested whether the brief would catch a curveball. I had not told anyone, but a partner had ghosted me on a delivery. I was annoyed but had been ignoring it. The brief surfaced it. There's a partner who is now 5 days late on a deliverable. Either chase or accept the slip. Do not just keep waiting. That single line forced me to send the chase email I had been avoiding. They replied in an hour. The deliverable arrived that afternoon. Day 3, I added something I did not expect to need. I asked Claude to read my Slack DMs from the last 24 hours and tell me which ones needed a real reply, which ones could be a thumbs up reaction, and which ones I could ignore safely. Claude found 19 messages, 3 needed real replies. 8 needed reactions, 8 were just chatter I could safely skip. Total reply time, 4 minutes. My old morning, I would have read every single one and replied to half. Day 4 was about my calendar. I asked Claude to look at the day and find any meeting that could be a quick async message instead. It found one a 30-minute call about a topic where I just needed to confirm one number. Claude drafted the message that would replace the meeting. I sent it. The other person replied saying, yes, thank you, meeting canceled, half an hour back day. 5, something interesting happened. I asked Claude what I had been working on the previous afternoon because I genuinely could not remember. Claude scanned my Slack messages, my linear comments, and my last few file edits and gave me a 1-paragraph summary. Reentry took 20 seconds instead of 10 minutes of clicking around to remember. Day 6, I added the morning 10-minute decompression. After the brief, before any work, I would just talk to Claude about anything that was on my mind for 10 minutes. Concerns, ideas, frustrations, half-formed thoughts. Claude would ask the right next question and pull threads I would never have pulled myself. 2 of the best decisions I made that week came out of those 10-minute conversations. Day 7, I measured old morning routine, 45 to 60 minutes of context switching, then start real work. New morning routine, 5 minutes of brief, 10 minutes of decompression, 15 minutes total. I gained roughly 45 minutes of deep work time every single day, 15 extra hours per month. That is essentially an extra work week every quarter. Now let me tell you what failed. On 2 of the 7 days, the brief was wrong about urgency. It flagged something as urgent that did not need to be urgent and missed something I knew was actually urgent. So I started ending each day with a 1-sentence note to Claude saying, tomorrow morning, this is what I am actually worried about. That tuned the brief perfectly. The other failure on weekends. The brief stayed too professional. I tried to use it Sunday morning and it tried to give me work tasks. I added 1 line to the project saying weekends are for personal stuff and it adapted. So here's the pitch. Your morning is the most expensive 45 minutes of your day. You're alert, you're uninterrupted, and you're wasting it on triage that an AI can do in 20 seconds. Hand the triage over, get the morning back. Try this experiment. Tonight, set up the project. Tomorrow morning, type good morning to it instead of opening email. See what happens. You will gain back time you did not know you were spending. Subscribe if you want the next experiment in the series. Send this to the friend who is always behind on email. Now go set up your morning project so you can actually start tomorrow on offense.